25 minutes and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Oh. Mm. I don't know either. Okay, great. Not sad. Hi, Alondria. Not sad. Just waiting, playing around with backgrounds. Okay, yay. Is that enough time? Great. Plenty of time. Let's get going. Excited. All right. Woo, we're so close to chapter 3. We might be able to get into there. Book 5, chapter 3, around the corner. Hi, Evelise. Okay, specifying a precision. When you are writing floating point numbers to a file or to see out, that is, numbers stored in float or double variables, having all the numbers print with the same number of digits to the right of the decimal point is often handy. This feature is called the precision. Oh, thank you, Evelise. Remember, do not confuse this form of the word precision with the idea that double variables have a greater precision than float variables. Here, we're just talking about the number of digits printed to either the file or cout. The value inside the variable does not change, nor does the precision on the variable's type. Of the variable's type. To set or read the precision, call the stream's precision function. If you call precision with no parameters, you can find out the current precision. Or to set the precision, pass a number specifying how many digits you want to appear to the right of the decimal point. For example, the following line sets the precision of an output. Yeah? Fishing dot presenter is asking, is this a math class? I don't know. Hi, sure curious. No, this is what you call C++ All for Dummies. So technically it's not math, but you're kind of right. It is applied math in a way. But it's coding. Yay, computer time. Yay. Okay. So they're saying this line, which is C out dot precision for the output would take this form 0.3333. Remember, if you don't set the precision, the stream will have a default precision, probably 6, depending on your particular compiler. Precision has an interesting effect if you use it with the show point format flag. In the scientific community, these 3 numbers have the same precision. Fishing Professor said, oh, I had a coding elective a few years ago. And then, thanks, I'm going to bed. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and have a great evening. And sleep. That's what I mean. Sleep. Good sleeping. Check you later sometimes, maybe. Avery Hamilton? No. Hampton? Fun. This is C++ All-In For Dummies we're talking about. Here we go. So this is all the same precision. 3.5672 has the same precision as 8432.2259, which has the same precision as 0.5592. Even though the first 2 of the preceding numbers have the same number of digits to the right of the decimal point, scientists consider precision to mean the same number of total digits, not counting leftmost zeros, to the left of the decimal, as in the final of the 3. Therefore, a scientist would consider the 3 following numbers to have the same precision because they all have 4 digits. Again, for the final one, you don't count the 0 because it's to the left of the decimal point. Scientific folks call these significant digits. You can accomplish significant digits with an output stream by combining precision with the show point flag. The precision function example shown in listing 2-2 contains an example of show point and precision working together in perfect harmony. .678432 and 0.1853. Avery Hampton, yeah, it's really fun. Okay then. Listing 2-2, using the precision function to work with the show point format flag. How should I include IO stream? Using namespace standard, int main, int I, cout.setf, iOS underscore base show point, cout.precision 4, for I equals 1, as long as I is no more than 10, increment I, cout 1.0 divided by I, inline, cout 2.0 inline, cout 12.0 inline, cout 12.5 inline, cout 123.5 inline, cout 1234.9 inline, cout 12348.8 inline, cout 123411.5 inline, cout 1234111.5 inline, return 0. Warning, if you're using a non-ANSI compliant compiler, you need to change iOS underscore base to iOS in the 3rd line in main. Also, because listing 2-2 is for a fully ANSI compliant compiler, we include the using namespace standard line. You can always have this line whether your compiler requires it or not. When you run this application, here's the output you see. 1.000, 0.5000, 0.3333, 0.2500, 0.2000, 0.1667, 0.1429, 0.1250, 0.1111, 0.1000, 2.000, 12.00, 12.50, 123.5, 123.5.0. 1.235 e plus 004, 1.234 e plus 005, 1.234 e plus 006. Okay. The preceding output has a couple of interesting cases. The last 3 lines of the preceding output are a scientific notation to maintain 4 significant digits. The 4th line from the end, which is the one that says 1, 2, 3, 5 point, is run up from 1, 2, 3, 4.9 because of this line. And the line that they're talking about is this one. That says C out 1, 2, 3, 4.9 in line. The precision function has an associated manipulator. Instead of calling precision as a function, you can use it as a manipulator, but the manipulator's name is slightly different. It's sub-precision. To use it, you include this header. Hashtag include IO man manip. That looks like the following. Right there. These 2 lines cause the same thing to happen. C out dot precision 4, C out, sub precision 4. And these 2 lines are available for all the recent more or less ANSI compliant compilers, even those that aren't fully compliant. Yay! Just make sure you remember to add hashtag include IMNF, or you will get a compiler error. Setting the width and creating fields. This is where you could start making the numbers and data all nice and neat by aligning them in columns. To align your data, use the width member function for the stream or C out, passing the width of the field like this. C out dot width 10. Then when you print a number, think of the number as sitting inside a field 10 spaces wide, with the number wedged against the right side of these 10 spaces. For example, look at this. C out dot width 10, C out 20 in line. This code produces this output. 10 spaces, the 20, 10 spaces. Although seeing this in the printed text is hard, this 20 is pushed to the right of a field of spaces 10 characters wide. That is because the 20 takes 2 character spaces. There are 8 spaces to the left of it. Tip: if you prefer, you can have the numbers pushed to the left of the field. To do this, set the left format flag by using setf. Or for absolutely perfectly ANSI compliant libraries, you can use the left manipulator. For the width function, you can alternatively add hashtag include IO manip and then use a manipulator C out set W10. This works for both the newer 100% ANSI compliant compilers and the slightly older, slightly less compliant compilers. Warning. Due to some oddities in libraries, when you set the width, it stays that way only for the next output operation. Call it forgetful, if you will. Therefore, suppose you have code that looks like this. Before I continue, Stay Curious says, hey Becky, I'd stick around to the end, but I have somewhat of an early morning. I hope you sleep well, and I'll catch you later. Bye, my friend. Thank you, Stay Curious. I mean, sure curious. My apologies. Same here. That's why I only have just over 10 minutes left. But please go ahead and enjoy your evening, by which I mean your sleep. I don't know. Apparently I need to get my sleep too. But that's why I'm going to stop reading when my timer rings. Or at least wherever I'm at in a good closing space just after. Ooh, we're almost to chapter 3. But yes, have a beautiful rest. Thank you, Sure Curious. Okay. Awesome. Good night. You're curious. See out with 10, see out 20, 30 in line. Only the first output 20 will have. Awesome. Oh, Shakuri said, you're welcome. And I'm saying awesome. Yeah. Only the first output 20 will have a filled width of 20. The 30 will just take as much space as it needs. Therefore, these lines of code produced this output, which is probably not what most people would intend. 2030. This is why we prefer to use the manipulator form. We precede each output item with a width specification. Try this instead. See out set W10, 20, set W10, 30 in line, which writes this to see out 20, so spaces, 20 spaces 30. That looks a little nicer. The width function example in listing 2-3 shows the great things you can do when you set the width. This listing is for the absolute money back guarantee ANSI compilers. If yours is slightly less than ANSI compliant, you have to change these two lines. Sales fixed, sales left. To do this, sales.setf iOS fixed, sales.setf iOS left. That's easy enough. Hi, Nicole. Nice. Yeah, I've been streaming a lot today. Sundays are fun when they work out nice. Listing 2-3, setting, hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow goes okay. Listing 2-3, setting the width of a field using the setW manipulator or width function. Include IO stream, include IO manip, hashtag include upstream. The reason why I show this is so I don't have to say every little thing. It gets to be annoying trying to say every little thing. It means I'm too slow too. OF stream, sales, salaries.txt, sales, set precision 2, sales, fixed, sales, left, sales, set W20, name, set W10, salary, sales in line, sales, 19 hyphens, 1 space, sales in line, 10 hyphens, sales, Hank Williams, sales, set W, sales set W20, Hank Williams, my apologies. Sales set W10, 28422.82 in line. Sales set W20, Buddy Holly. Sales set W10, 39292.22 in line. Sales set W20, Otis Redding. Sales set W10, 43838.55 in line. Return 0. When you run this listing 2-3, you get a file called salaries.txt like this. Name, salary, Hank Williams, 28422.82, Buddy Holly, 39292.22, Otis Redding, 43838.55. See how it's neatly lined up? That's pretty. Notice one thing we did, however, the first field name is 20 characters wide. For the hyphens, we put only 19 to give the appearance of a space between the two fields. In fact, the two fields are wedged against each other with no space between them. Tip. If you ran listing 2-3 and each cell printed in a scientific format, as in 2.8e plus 04, you need to use sales.setf. Okay then. Sales.setf iOS : fixed As cells dot set F, I'll ask : left. Tip. We use the left format flag so that the data in each field is aligned to the left end of the field. By default, each field is aligned to the right. Remember, although you can specify the field width, really you're specifying a minimum. If the characters in the output are less than the field width, the runtime library will pad them with spaces to make them that minimum size. If they are bigger than that width, the library will not chop them off to make them fit. If you add letters to the Hank Williams line in listing 2-3, like this, cells, set W20, Hank Williams, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. The output looks like the following example instead. The Hank Williams line runs beyond the 20 characters into the next field. So it says name, then salary, then Hank Williams, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and then the very next thing right after that is a 2. Everything else is looking beautiful. And Reiner Dina, whoa. That is it for chapter 2. This is called book 5, chapter 3, reading with input streams. Let me check my timer. Ooh, 3 minutes. We're just going to put a pin on here and use that time instead to close out the chat. Reiner Dina might have fallen asleep. That's true. Apparently this is great to sleep to. Okay. Wow. Almost done? What? That's amazing. Okay. So, according to the contents, book 5, which we're in, has 5 chapters. Upon our next... Oh, I'm not saying don't sleep to it. I just didn't realize that it was a fun time to sleep to. What do you call it? But anyway, look here, Reiner Dina. Anyone else who's interested. But mainly I think Reiner Dina. I just don't understand anyone else who is as interested in this as I am and as you are. But you sleep to it sometimes, so I gotta get used to that. But nothing wrong with that. Just didn't realize that was a thing. Okay, so we're just finished that. So the next chapter will be about building directories and contents. Then the chapter after that will be about streaming your own classes. Ooh, that'll be fun. I got some practice doing this with my advanced object-oriented class, but it'll be nice to at least get a refresher because it's been a while. Because when I did that was fall of 2023. And then we're going to be in book 6 for advanced C++. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with boost. And the rest of this is appendix. I'm so psyched. All right. Well, I frankly enjoyed my Sunday, but I don't know if I'm going to continue to enjoy my Sunday. It depends on how tomorrow goes. It's like, can I please just do me some of the time? Like, anyway, I troubleshooted the device. I think I did that right. I was under the impression that's what I was supposed to do, so hopefully. Reiner just said, I think it's cool you're reading this, but I only learn coding by doing it. I have been updating some of my old code today while you're reading tonight. Well, good. That's time. But at least you are doing some code. While I'm spending time reading some code. So I don't think that's entirely a bad thing. But I hear you about the learning by doing. That's a lot of what I did during grad school and getting into grad school. And I hadn't had the opportunity to really just sit and read about code prior, during that. But then just like within the week or two after I graduated, I'm like, oh, this is a cool book. Let me pick that up. Boy, I'm slow. Anyway, yay. So it's still nice to just have the opportunity to try to let things marinate, because I didn't have that opportunity when I was there in the middle of doing it, and everything was about trying to get the deadlines. Okay. Renardina, go ahead and have a safe flight. I take it to Tennessee. I'm pretty sure you're flying. Are you flying? Okay. Okay, you're fine. Please don't. You're laughing, but that's the thing. Okay, so when I go to work here in the state of California, effectively, the people's kids are technically my kids. I'm legally required to make sure that they are safe and well, legally required to do so. Same thing goes with flight attendants, though. You technically are not within your own power when you're on a plane. You're under the sole discretion of the staff. So don't get taped up in a seat, I guess I should say. Because some people manage to, please don't end up getting taped to a seat. That happened. Best case, if you act to fall on a plane, you get taped up to a seat. Worst case, you end up having police time, and I don't think that would be a very cool thing to be doing. Either of those things. All right, thank you, Renardina. Please, no, thank you. I think I saw enough with COVID and all the anti-mask and all that nonsense. I saw enough people acting a fool on planes. I'm just glad that none of that crazy crap was happening on the flights that I was on back in 2021 when I was visiting my family in Cincinnati. No, really though, that's the thing. People would end up literally getting taped to the seat by the flight attendants because of how obnoxious they were being and how much of a... The thing is, don't give anyone a reason. When you're up in a plane, don't give anyone a reason to deem you as a safety hazard, because your butt might get not only taped to a seat, not only potential jail time, but your butt's going to get definitely recorded, because everybody's got their phone, and someone's going to get that out. You're going to end up on the news, like Ryan was saying. It's almost a guarantee. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there was some YouTube channels fully devoted just to getting people's mess up moments on the airplane, because at least for a period of time, because that happens so regularly. It was beyond crazy. But seriously, don't, not a good idea. When you're up in that thing, you technically do not have autonomy, you do have to, they own your butt. The flight attendants, the pilot's kind of busy dealing with the plane, but the flight attendants kind of own your butt when you're up in a plane. Just so we're clear on that one. Don't give them a reason. Just take a little nap like I like to do. Just zone out with a book on tape. Okay. Nicole says tape to seed gel time. You go viral. Good times. We got different definitions of good times on that one. I'd rather just take my little book on tape and my little night out time and a joke. Okay. Well, hey. Well, it's a good thing you know Reiner Dean now because he likes the jokes too. No, sir. Another joke, but also no thank you. I'm literally saying the opposite. Goodness. On that note, please be safe and do your thing and no jumping up and down. Yeah, I know that's a joke too, but still, don't give them a reason. No, no, no. Your butt is not your own. When you're in a plane, you are fully under the totally different sort of deal. When you're up in a plane, it is not, no, be on your best. P's and Q's all the way. All right, then. Thank you, Reiner and Dina. Good night to you. Good night, Nicole. And thank you for coming in to at least 2 of my streams today. And C All-In For Dummies. How cool is that? Thank you. It's definitely something I hold pretty dear to my heart. And thank you for Sure Curious, who went to sleep. And I am on City Owl in Avery, Hampshire, and hopefully about head games. And Fishing.Professor. And Evelise and Alondria. And that's everybody who was kind enough to just try to put something in the chat. And good night to anyone who I may have missed, any little lurkers. And thank you so much, everybody who made it in. Okay, thank you, Nicole. But yeah, anyone who might check this out in the future, hey, stranger things have happened, whenever, wherever, however, whatever, just make the most of it. That's the most important part. And don't get yourself taped to the seat, Ryan or Dina. Just please no thank you. Just have a nice, safe flight and get to Tennessee. And hopefully start off an awesome week. Okay. Bye-bye.